Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Blind Builds with Blind Prime. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Power Rangers Season 1 Dragon Zord, and I will teach you how to combine him with the other Zords from Power Rangers Season 1 to create the Dragon Warrior Zord and the Super Mega Dragon Zord, which I will be covering the Super Mega Dragon Zord first. It's an easier thing to talk about. These are the Bandai 1993 Power Rangers Zords. These are not the Hasbro Zords. The Hasbro Zords that came out in like 2014 or something, and there's new ones coming out this year. So keep an eye out for those new ones coming out. They have some images released of the Megazord, their better Megazord that they've created. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the Bandai Season 1. So if you like what you see here and you want to help raise awareness for the blind, I just ask that you go below and share, like, and subscribe, and also, comment. Ask me some questions. I'll gladly talk to you about them. I enjoy talking to my viewers, and I love it whenever you comment. It makes me feel special, and it's just also something fun I can do. I like communicating with you, my viewers. So let's start off by talking about how to get this guy into his different forms. So first off, what you want to do is you want to remove his tail. That's the first thing you do. You just grab it while holding on to both of his legs at the same time with one hand, and then you carefully pull the tail out. Now, something unique about the tail I forgot to mention in my More Than Meets the Eye video is that the tail has this stud that is on the bottom end of it. So when you're plugging the tail into the Dragon Zord, you always want to make sure that you put this bump, this weird studded bump, on the bottom. The bump goes on the bottom. It never goes on the top. There's nothing on the top for the bump to live, to interact with, but there is a cut in the bottom that the bump fits in perfectly. So you just put that bump there, and then the tail comes on every time with no problems. So just remembering that, ensure the bump is face down. Okay, we're done with that. Now it's time to get this guy prepared. So to prepare him, you want to first just lay him down. Just lay him down, face down, onto your table, because he's got that center shield thing, and it will always fall out. I've never been able to catch it, so don't let it fall out. Just do that, and then it will fall out carefully on your table. You don't have to worry about anything bouncing around it. Very nice and easy. Okay, now that it's gone, we can fix the arms up. So you want to raise the arm, and at the same time you're raising the arm, you're going to try and push your little missile fingers, the missile hands, into this little cut that's in the arm itself on the underside. And when you do that, when the arm folds fully in place, those missile fingertips will be sticking out. All right? Like they did in the show, if y'all remember the show. So we're going to follow the same process on this side, forcing the hand down. At the same time, we're pushing the arm up, and it will ratchet and snap into its spot inside of the shoulder area with the missile pods sticking out. Now that those bits are done, we are going to kind of set him off to the side as we grab our Megazord. But before we bring in the Megazord, we will, of course, have to change our view. So first, I'm going to grab the camera, and we are going to go backwards. So up and back. Woo! All right. Now you're at a better viewpoint where you can actually see the height of this guy better. I talked to some friends, so that's the best way to do it for the Megazord. So we bring in Megazord. Now the Power Rangers Megazord sits over here. We're going to center her as much as we can, center her, and that's actually a little less there. Okay, now we're going to first, before we do anything with Dragon Zord here, keep the Dragon Zord kind of chilling off to the side. You want to grab either horn of your Megazord's head, and you're going to rotate both of those horns backwards, all the way until they come together, like you're about to fold the head into the T-Rex for the T-Rex transformation. And then you want to pick up your Dragon Zord by the panels that the arms are connected to, and this will cause the panels the legs are connected to kind of fold off to either side. And then you raise it, and then you're going to lower it down on top of your Megazord. You want to make sure you do this right. And when you lower it, you want to make sure you put the Megazord's head inside this gap underneath the Dragon Zord's head. And that gap will allow the head to actually fold in there quite nicely. It doesn't really pop and snap into place. It just kind of sits there. But that is the the Super Mega Dragon Zord. And then you want to just fold his legs somehow. Oh, right. Gotta pick up this little flappy bit. Oh, this flappy panel is always such a pain. Flappy panel. Why? Why do you flap? Why do you flap where you're not supposed to flap? You flappy panel. Okay, so pick the flappy panel up, and you're going to rotate the leg into its socket, and then you're going to rotate that leg down. Okay? Now we're going to do the same with this side. Pick up the flappy bit. Find the flappy bit. Once you've found the flappy bit, pick the flappy bit up. Sometimes the flappy bit needs to come down more before the flappy bit can be picked up. And then that's going to slide into place, and then you just rotate that down. Alright, that is your Super Mega Dragon Zord in its transformation. I think it's the Super, maybe it's just the Mega Dragon Zord. But there you go. It's a thing you can do. You got the nice missile pod sticking out on the sides like that. And I think, now I may be wrong in this, so we're going to see. I just found those. No, they're too small. They're too small. There isn't really a point to, where you can put the cannons from your Megazord. So just set them off to the side. It's sad that this doesn't have any place where you can put those Megazord cannons. I think that would have been cool to be able to put the cannons up here with everything. But now we're done with it. Alright, so to remove it, you just bring it up from the top. It literally just lays across the top of your Megazord, and then you're going to snap him back into place. And because of what we did, when we moved the feet up with the flappity flaps, he's actually ready for Dragon Warrior mode. And you just got to remember, you got to keep those flaps up when you're folding the feet in. And these cutouts in the lower parts of the Dragon Zord's feet, which I thought was just sloppy. It was a waste. You didn't put any plastic there. What's wrong with you? But these work out very well in the Dragon Warrior mode, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Let's set him down, and let's change the dragon, the Megazord. So we got to get some pieces off him. So remove the pterodactyl first. Pterodactyl always gets removed first. Then go to the mammoth's arms, unclip each from the back of the Megazord, and then twist him slightly so that you can grab the front feet of the mammoth and pull them off carefully. All right. Oh, right. Lower the tail for the T-Rex. I forget that sometimes. That tail has to lower as well. And then you just set the mammoth down. Pick that tail back up. Now we're going to pull the Triceratops off his feet and pull the saber-toothed tiger off of his leg. And we're going to set T-Rex over here where we set Kimberly, the pterodactyl, and we're going to move into combining Billy, Trini, Tommy, and Zach. Alright, so first we're going to bring in the legs. So saber-toothed tiger on the left. Clicks into place, doesn't it? Oh, come on. Or does saber-toothed tiger go on the right? Nope, there it goes. Okay, left for Sabretooth, right for Triceratops. Boom and boom, they both clicked into place. Now it's a stable footing. Now we're going to move over here to the shoulders. You know how I have the hands folded into his shoulders? Now we're going to unclip the shoulders. Be careful on this. This could be gold plastic. I haven't found anything confirming or denying the possibility of this being gold plastic. So I'm just being super careful because gold plastic syndrome isn't anything to laugh about. Alright, this is on a bar hinge, which means there's a hinge, and then there's a long piece of plastic, and then another hinge. So we're going to fold that bar hinge forwards as far as it will go. And this will bring us to this clip area, right where my finger's at. It's towards the middle area of this. And when we fold this thing forwards towards the front of the figure, the little pieces of plastic I pointed out will line up perfectly with this hole cut into the bar hinge, and then you just snap it into place. And just be careful. Make sure you put one thumb inside of the Dragon Zord and one finger on the outside of the Dragon Zord. Now we're going to do it with the same here. Carefully now, pick the part up and unhinge it from its first contact point and move it forwards, and then lay the bar over top of the next place it will be connected. Put your thumb inside of the Dragon Zord, and then put your forefinger on the outside, and then push your thumb and forefinger together, and it should just snap into place. This one, there it goes. Snapped into place quite nicely. And now, when these two pieces fold together, these connector points on them are very small, very unobtrusive, and their only job is just to keep these from flapping about. So there's not much stress put on this gold plastic. So if it has gold plastic syndrome, the chances of you breaking it are very low, as long as you are careful with your movements and you're steady. Once you've done that, go ahead and let's bring out the mammoth. Okay, Zach comes up. Zach's mammoth flies around. And now for this, we're going to spin him around so that people with eyes can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to take you through it verbally. So what we're going to do is, there's a spot right below his neck and right above the missing tail area, where there's this area that has some some molding to it that feels interesting. Well, that's because this is where this guy's going to fit into place. See this big hollow section right here? There's a big hollow section where the middle of the shield of the Dragon Zord came out of, because that shield just took up the entire center of the toy. This bit inside of the Mastodon, there's a bit that is rectangular and it comes out a bit, and it has a little squeezy bits on either side. That's actually going to fit into that hole. But you got to make sure that you line up the Mastodon where the front feet of the Mastodon, the ones that stick out the back where the guns get put, is directly beneath the neck of the Dragon Zord. And this part is just a little weird because you kind of just have to move it around and feel it when it finally wants to connect. And when this thing connects, it's a much more stable connection than you would have with your Mammoth plus T-Rex on the Megazord. This is a better connection. Once you got it slid in there, then you can fold the arms forward, and they both will snap easily into the spots they're supposed to snap into. And with that, you have gotta lower his head. So just take the lower jaw of the Dragon Zord and push it down, and then the head will flop there. There's nothing really holding the head in place, so the head wiggles. It flip-flops, it wiggles. There's nothing you can do about that. Don't worry about it. That is the Dragon Warrior Zord. Now, I'm only going to show you this once because I don't like it, and I just don't like top-heavy things, and this makes it top-heavy. So Dragon Zord comes with this weird pillar thing that has 4 legs on it. And this weird pillar thing has a connector on top, and a long part in front of the connector, and then a short part behind the connector. And see, this thing, even when there's nothing on it, falls over all the time. This is my least favorite part of the Dragon Zord, is this weapon combination. But you take this massive thing that fit inside of the Dragon Zord before, its giant chest shield and battery pack and speaker system, and you're going to slide that on top of the connector point that's at the top of this pillar thing. And then after that, you're going to take the Dragon Zord's tail, find the nubbin, the little point that's the nubbin that I talked about, and that nubbin's going to go on the back end, and then the Dragon Megazord tail is just going to fit directly on top, and this is how you have your spinning drill spear. It's pretty easy to make. You're just stacking 3 items on top of each other in a correct way, but it's also the most top-heavy thing that I've ever experienced in Power Rangers. So we're just going to remove that tail, and then we're going to remove this shield, and we're going to remove the pillar because I don't want to break anything, and this thing becomes very top-heavy. But anyway, guys, that is how you build and assemble your Megazord into your Super Mega Dragon Zord, or your Dragon Warrior Zord. I hope that you've enjoyed the show. Please tune in next time, as we will be discussing the news out on the Transformers HasLab Star Saber. And later on, next Friday, we will be bringing out Titanus and talking about Titanus. So tune in for Titanus next Prime. Bye-bye for now.